Guys, this is Mike from Betterme. It's really good to be back with you guys, and I'm super excited about today's topic because this is a topic that I think all of us can learn to improve on, myself included, and that is time ownership versus time management. Now, a lot of people, they use the term time management. I think most of us do. For me, in my opinion, the correct term on that is time ownership. I do not want to manage my time. I want to be an owner and I want to be a master of my time. And these couple of things kind of relate to what the difference is between time ownership and time management. So really, what's the difference? I mean, not any of us, I don't think, want to be managed, right? I think some of us want to be led, but I don't think anybody really wants to be managed. And I think that comes down to the same thing when we're talking about our time. If we have a certain amount of time, if each of us have a finite amount of time every single day, we all have 24 hours in a day, and I think we want to be the owners, I think we want to be the masters and controllers of what we do with our time every single minute, every single hour of every single day. And a lot of times that's not possible for many of us because we have certain commitments like jobs and things like that we have to go to, totally understandable. But for the majority, I think we really want to have control and ownership over our time. So the first thing here is wasting time versus adding value. So this is huge, and this is something that I even get stuck on as well. So I get stuck in the scroll. I am totally guilty of getting stuck in the scroll. I'm on YouTube or Facebook, and I get stuck in the scroll, and sometimes it takes me out of commission for a good half hour to an hour. And so that's one of the things we have to understand is what are we doing on social media, and is it adding value to our life? Always do and believe that which moves you towards your goal. That's a quote that I got from Tom Bilyeu. I'm not sure where he got it, but that is a quote that I got from Tom Bilyeu. Always do and believe which moves you to your goal. And I totally believe in that quote wholeheartedly. And so when you're looking at social media, when you're looking at the scroll, it's really like, what am I doing right now? And is it adding value to my life? Now, we all know entertainment's great. We all need to be entertained at some point. But really, what are we doing? Is it in excess? And is it really moving us towards our goal? Is it adding value to our life? So that's something that we really have to start to think about when we're scrolling YouTube, we're scrolling Facebook, and it's really good to be able to stop yourself and ask yourself the question, is this really moving me towards my goal? The second thing is, what's really on your plate? So a lot of people these days, especially now, doing all this crazy stuff going on with the economy at the time of this recording, all the inflation, everything going on with the economy, everything that's going on with the global unrest, we always want to understand what is truly on our plates. So a lot of times what's on our plates can be exaggerated, but a lot of times what's on our plates can be truly factual, right? We just might legitimately have a ton of stuff on our plates. And so the way to take that on is to be able to prioritize what is on our plate. So what do you value and what do you believe? What are your deadlines? Taking that all into account, how do you prioritize those pieces? And a good way to do that is you could do it two ways. You could either chunk it out. So say, for example, if you had a bunch of stuff to do for your kids. So you have to take your kids school shopping, you have to buy food for your kids, you have to take your kids to school. If there's a bunch of things you know you have to do for your kids, you can chunk it out into one bucket. You could write it down and chunk it into one bucket that says kids. And knowing that you have to do certain things for your kids, right? The same thing for you. Well, I have to go get a haircut and I have to do this at work and I have to go visit this person. You could chunk that under things that you need to do for you for the day. Conversely, you could do this another way where you can take everything that you have to do and you can list it out one by one. Then you could take that and you could say, okay, well, what do I really value here? What's my priority here? And what's my deadline? Then you could take what is listed out one by one and you could start putting a priority on that and you could start to execute on those things, again, based on what you value, based on what you believe, and based on what your deadlines are. And also what else you have going on for the rest of the day, okay? So those are two ways that you can actually chunk out what is on your plate. But the thing that I have to stress is we always want to know what we truly have on our plates, right? And not what we think we have on our plates. Because a lot of times what we have on our plates could be more in actuality than we actually have. And so the third thing is to prioritize. So once we have everything written down, again, we want to prioritize everything that we have on our lists in some sort of order based on what we value, what we believe, and what our deadlines are, and what else we have going on for the rest of the day. A good way that I like to do this is something called the 168 game. This isn't a new concept. This wasn't a concept invented by me. This is a concept that I use every single day in my life to be able to chunk out different things that I need to do. So for example, we're given 168 hours in a week. We're given 168 hours in a week, 24 hours in every single day. So the question is, how do you use that time? Do you use that time efficiently? And are the things that you do during that time moving you towards your goal? Or are they pulling you further and further away from that goal? So, for example, this is how you use the 168 game. You can take chunks throughout the day. You can take increments throughout the day. You can start at 5 o'clock in the morning and you can go all the way down to 11:59 at night. And you could choose the increments. You could do 15-minute blocks, 30-minute blocks, 45-minute blocks, hour blocks, whatever works best for you. But for the list that you've described, you can put them into the 168 game, into a spreadsheet, task by task, with a corresponding time. And so you can go ahead and execute those tasks at each corresponding time. You could look at your 168 game and now identify what, in essence, you're doing throughout your day, what are some of the time wasters throughout your day, and how you're actually prioritizing your items throughout your day, and if it's actually efficient. So what the 168 game actually does is it allows you to take back ownership of your time, because now everything that you do is time blocked. So I'll give you an example. One of my days would look something like this. I get up in the morning. I'm going to do my self-care, so things like brushing my teeth, taking a shower, etc. Maybe I'll meditate, maybe I'll go to the gym. I'll take time driving to the gym. So everything is basically tracked. So I know how I'm spending each block of my time. So if it's taking me 15 minutes to go to the gym, if it's taking me an hour at the gym, and it's taking me 15 minutes back, it's now taking me an hour and a half to complete my gym activity. Now I know 24 hours out of my day, an hour and a half is dedicated to the gym. Okay, well after the gym, I'm gonna go meditate. Now I know that meditation takes me about 5 to 10 minutes to get primed, it takes me about a half an hour to meditate, and then it takes me about another 5 to 10 minutes just to kind of come back into my natural state. And so I know that it's gonna take me roughly 40 to 50 minutes to do a full meditation session. And sometimes those meditation sessions can be once to twice a day. So now that I know what I'm doing in my life and how much time it's taking, now I can go back and actually see what I am actually doing in my life that is taking the most time, and I can reevaluate that. Now I have data to work with. And that's the coolest thing about the 168 game, is it actually gives you a baseline to work with, it gives you data to work with, and now you can go back and you can tweak that. And the more that you tweak the 168 game to match to your values, your belief system, and your goals, you can really start tackling more projects more efficiently, or the projects that you have going on right now, you can tackle the same amount of projects, but again, just more efficiently. So you can actually either take on more if you want to, or you can just be more efficient with the projects that you have, but knowing that now you know what is going on with your time on a daily basis, hour by hour, 15 minute by 15 minute, half hour by half hour. The goal is now you know what's taking up your time and you are becoming an owner of that time. So again, guys, the 3 things here for time ownership versus time management is wasting time versus adding value. You want to make sure that whatever we're doing is moving us towards our goal, right? So always do and believe that what moves you towards your goal. And so is scrolling through YouTube or Facebook, depending on if it is for a work purpose, a research purpose, is it really moving you towards your goal? The second thing is what's on your plate currently. You know, see it for what it is, not for more than it is. And so again, I think a lot of people see what's on their plate for more than it is because they get overwhelmed, because they feel like they have no control over it. So it's really understanding what's on your plate and taking action on that. And the third step is to prioritize. Once you have a list, once you chunk it out, start prioritizing those things based on your value system, your belief system, and what your deadlines are. And again, always doing and believing that what moves you towards your goals. And so guys, those are the 3 things. If you guys have any questions, please send me an email, info@5pillarfinancial.com. That's info@5pillarfinancial.com. The 5 is spelled out F-I-V-E. And until then, guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.